I'm up like all night watching the markets and the Ukraine thing and everything, to the point now where I'm like, do you hear that helicopter?
Yeah, exactly.
It's right there.
Yeah, that was my first thought. Big deal, you know?
How are we doing? I mean, it's hovering out there too.
But
Yeah, probably. Hey, welcome to the Closing Beat, everybody. Happy Thursday. How you doing out there? Look, I just want to say, you guys, you owe me one, right? You guys owe me one. I broke out the towel. What was it, last night? I was like, you know what? Got to get the towels ready again. Got it all here. Put one back there. See it up? I got one over there. And you don't need a dang towel. The market said, no. Every time I break these stinking towels out, it's a problem. Anyways, hope you had a good evening. A lot going on, right? There was a lot to see on TV and Twitter and TikTok and all that from what's going on over on the other side of the world there. And a lot happening with our markets. Lots of volatility, like incredible amounts of volatility today. Just fascinating to watch the NASDAQ move within a 150-point range over lunch, right? Just over lunch. Just incredible. Not something you normally see. So if you're a new investor, trader, whatever you may be, if you're new to the markets, yeah, that's not normal. What happened today is not normal. We're going to talk about it here a little bit. And then I got to get ready for our Wine and Wealth class tonight. We're calling it the state of the market, right? So we're going to go through probably more than I've ever been able to show and talk about and focus on. So I got all kinds of different data points for you in very easy to see formats and everything. And so we'll be doing that at 8 o'clock for our clients in the dojo. But I got to get a few more slides ready for you guys. I'm going to go nuts tonight. So bring your drinks, get ready to hang out, because I've got a lot to share. And I'll be quick about it. Anyways, stock market started off today. The S&P actually gapped down 2%. I don't know, I don't know how much you've been paying attention today. We actually gapped down 2%. This was exactly what I was hoping for. Remember yesterday we were talking about, what would you like? Well, ideally you'd like to see a gap down reversal, exact words and everything. And again, that's because of how extended you would be at that point. I'm going to use the futures market here real quick, just because it's easier to spot the lows. So overnight we're selling off, war begins, all this stuff. And we're down here at lows, and you could see how extended the market was at that point and was even on the open. And so that's huge, right? We talked about yesterday the bulls looking for their opportunity. Gap down reversals your opportunity. For all the investors out there that said, you know what, I'm going to bet that this low holds, they were wrong this morning in the pre-market, and overnight they decide to take their losses or take some of their position off or whatever. Creates that early selling. We open up and the market's like, I don't know, maybe we'll go, maybe we'll do something. Then bam, starts to get this late day recovery. And there's your gap down reversal. So exactly what you'd like to hope for. And I believe, to give credit, I believe Biden started talking and the markets went up. Remember I was saying Biden had the old Bush curse. When George W. Bush used to talk, he'd go in front and he'd do his live conference about financial crisis or whatever at the time, and markets would go down. Well, the other day Biden started talking, the markets went down. I said, uh-oh, he's got the Bush curse. Today, hey, he broke the curse. He started talking, the markets actually went up. I'll tell you, the market, overnight, everybody was sort of predicting the sanctions that may be placed on Russia, and it was not as severe as a lot of people were thinking. So that turned out to be a good thing. But not as tough on Russia as had been predicted. And I think the market was saying, okay, cool. Russia's going to see this as kind of a slap on the wrist, in a sense. And, we don't have anything to worry about. The U.S. isn't going to escalate there. And so I think that helped, pick your sides or whatever you stand for there is up to you. But I think that helped the markets here today and getting less severe sanctions. Well, anyways, like I said, the S&P had gapped down 2% on the open. Closes up 1.5%, right? At the close, there's your range for the day. You don't have to look far to see this is not normal. We don't have ranges like this. Biggest range in years, right? Besides COVID. So very impressive there. The appetite in the market today was for tech, right? So everywhere you're looking, the big movers for the S&P today were the bigger, more heavily weighted stocks in the S&P. So it's going to be your Microsoft, used to be Facebook, But you got Microsoft up there, 5%. That was a big gainer on the day. NVIDIA also gap down reversal, one of the stronger ones, up 6%. You can look at some of the semis like Broadcom and stuff. The semiconductors did well today. I'll use the SMH. Again, because sanctions weren't as rough as is expected, and the world basically didn't just go, get rid of Russia overnight. So for now, that's good news for them. You're going to find names like AMD, all the popular ones that you like to look at. Some of the leaders today in terms of the tech stocks. Apple also had a good day. Come on, man. Oh, you can't see. Apple off the 200-day moving average, gaps down right to it. Technical traders say, well, that's my moment. We're extended. I get a big gap down. You got some Apple buyers in there for the short term. Amazon also, which has been kind of a mess. Amazon's been the weakest out of the groups there. You finally got a little rally out of that one. Tesla with a big gap down also finds itself extended. You get my drift? You get what we're talking about here? You got Home Depot, scam likely, man. There's really important things we need to be focusing on in this country, and that is one of them. Home Depot, very extended from the earnings the other day. It's starting to get its reversal. And other than that, you're looking around tech, like in the Dow, one of the tech stocks that helped out, Salesforce. I think that was your biggest gainer in the Dow. So not too bad there. Intuit, a lot of these are going to be earnings related, but you got Intuit higher. Applied Materials, back to the semiconductors real quick. MasterCard, PayPal, even PayPal. There you go. I've been waiting for a stinking bounce on PayPal. Finally, maybe a little something that can work there in terms of giving you a little bit of a bounce. But if you're looking across the sectors today, no doubt you're going to notice that tech was the best performer. If you use the XLK, there we go. If you use the XLK, also with a gap down reversal, is your best performer, 3.42%. Communication services as well. That was your confirmed downtrend sector that is very, very extended in the short term. So nice rally there. And consumer discretionary, also very extended. All three of those were your best performers today. Consumer staples, it's all right. It's finished down on the day. There were only a handful of sectors that finished down. No interest in financials today. All the banks and stuff pulled back. They were some of the drags on the Dow. And then energy as well. What a wild move. If I take a second and go over to oil, you get over $100 a barrel in oil. So it tags that number. All of a sudden, the market starts to rally. Oh, hey, the sanctions aren't as bad as we thought. And oil retreats back to where it was. It's not cheap, but it's better than being $100 for the moment. So you look at that as maybe that's a big topping tail here in the short term. Do we get a little bit of a break? If it does not start pulling back rather quickly, then this tail loses strength, right? So other than that, nice reversal there on oil, and hopefully we can get some of these gas prices down. Well, you're going to probably notice gold as well. Big range in gold, biggest daily range in years. And it just took off on the news. It was up 4% at one point of the invasion starting over there, and eventually just came right back to flat. Right? It was the same thing. In the afternoon, you'd notice all of a sudden it started bleeding off, but still a wild range there. You got bonds also. You had yields falling, thankfully, but yields falling, ultimately it turned out not to be that big of a move. And what's fun, not fun, but if you want to look at it, you know what bond yields are in the Ukraine right now? They're over 20%. Do you take that shot, right? 20% yields in Ukrainian bonds there, 5 and 10 years and stuff? I don't know. I'll tell you one I'm glad I didn't take a chance on was, remember we were talking about RSX yesterday, Russia. I said, well, I almost, put a play on there. I just got busy, to be honest. I was joking sort of about, do you or do you not play the RSX and bet on Russia to bounce? Glad I didn't. The thing opens up like 29% lower on the day. Huge move on this one there, and probably rightfully so. But I'm thankful to avoid that one there. In our office trades, I didn't do anything, I'll be honest. Focus always is on our portfolios here. I don't think I did anything. I had some order. I had an order to Cody closed out his Philip Morris. He had calls on Philip Morris. I don't know what happened today, but Philip Morris just plummeted. So a huge profit actually for Cody there on just a quick trade. And then the Dow, what's left over for me, Cody had a short. He took his profits off there. I've got a long. I rolled out to April for collecting another 75 cents, but that order was there. I didn't do anything else. Anytime the markets get volatile, this is fun. Right, we'll be back, and of course we're going to keep doing it. I'm probably just going to do a video update to show you everything for the research members, just because I want to have something. But we always put our focus towards the portfolios here and anything that we need to look at in respect to that because that is what we do. Anyways, new highs and lows for the day. There were only 3 new highs, 67 new lows, but many of them finished off of their lows. So you're going to see a lot of this. The weak stocks got bought today, no problem. So names like Adobe, very weak ahead of the market, so it had already started selling off. Gaps down, hits new 52-week lows, and reverses course. That's how you know that today's market reversal was broad market buying. It was not stock picking. It was just get in the market because it's extended there. Honeywell, same thing, very extended actually. I liked that Honeywell gapped down today. I didn't have a chance to look, but very extended, quick reversal, but it did hit new 52-week lows. 3M, actually we have a position on this one in the office trades there. Same thing, gap down reversal. It still finished down on the day, but I don't mind. Still very, very extended. You're looking for the recovery there, and we've got plenty of room on that one. Lockheed Martin, I just thought that was interesting. Of course, defense stock, you look at that and say, wow, it's gapping up on the day. We got war starting, making bombs, planes, all this great stuff. Well, it hit new 52-week highs, but did not close above there. And I went the wrong way. Sorry, I went backwards on the list. CF Industries hitting new 52-week highs. Very, very strong and has not participated in any pullback. Compare this, just the last couple months, to the stock market and go, that's a super strong stock there. Fertilizer business is killing it. Stocks in the news here today. We'll start with eBay. So eBay gaps down on earnings and also with the market falling. Beats on earnings by 6% better, more than expected there. Revenues were as expected. It guided a little bit weak. The number of active buyers, so on eBay, just like every other company, there's usually metrics that are unique to them. The number of active buyers missed by 6%. So that was the negative there. They said, yeah, we're going to do a $4 billion buyback, which is about 12%, 10-12% of their total market cap there. But that wasn't enough. It still finished up a little bit on the day, but took a bit of a hit there. You've got Fubo. There you go. Do you watch Fubo? Does anybody actually watch that? I have yet to watch. I'm a Pluto guy, not a Fubo guy. But they beat on earnings. Actually, it was a great earnings report. Double the number of subscribers year over year. Good for them, right? So they've been able to attract a higher audience, obviously. Revenues were 8% higher than expected. Gee, I wonder why. You can get double the number of subscribers. That ought to do the trick, huh? Make a little more money off of that. Booking Holdings was one of the weak ones today. It did attempt to rally, not enough to get back to positive. Sells 9%. Let's think about this for a second. So you see the stock, it fell. It sells 9% fewer rooms than expected. Okay. But revenue was up 3.5% more than expected. Selling less rooms, more revenue coming in. What does that mean? It must mean length of time in a room must be more. People are maybe not traveling as much, but they're traveling longer, right? And so overall earnings beat by 17%. And just like we got the heads up from Airbnb, remember they said the same thing. We got the number of days people are traveling are longer. The number of nights, what do they call it? The number of rental days, they call it, was longer, right? So people spending, more money because they're staying longer. And we got the same thing from Avis, right? Ticker symbol CAR. The number of rental days, right, was more. So you can kind of get a little bit of a heads up on some of these travel stocks because of what we've already seen. This adds to it. Booking Holdings basically saying, we sold a few less rooms, but people are staying longer, so we're making more money. That's pretty cool. So putting different data points together to kind of get ahead on some of the earnings there is the lesson. Live Nation. You're probably familiar with Live Nation. They sell 55 million fee-bearing tickets. That's their wording that they use. Fee-bearing tickets. That means they got money for them. Just below COVID highs. I mean, it's right there, almost at COVID highs. So we're not comparing it to last year, of course, we compare it to the year before. That helped them beat on revenue by 32% more than expected, beat on their operating margins by 50%. So really impressive there. And naturally, the stock had a good day, up about 10% and almost to new 52-week highs. Ford, there was, I guess, a report that maybe they were going to spin off their electric vehicle division as they do that there. The stock gapped down and rallied just like everything else today. But the Wall Street Journal says, nope, Ford confirmed with us that they're, in fact, not going to do that. Also, Wayfair reported earnings. still rather expensive company there, but they gapped down to new lows. It did finish higher on the day by about 5%. They lost more than expected, quite a bit more than expected. Revenues overall were weaker as well. Not a good one for them. Probably should have finished the day lower, but again, people like buying that dip today. So the dollars that came into Wayfair today, think about this. It's not dollars that were speculating on Wayfair. It's dollars that were speculating on index funds, and those index funds have to buy Wayfair. That's probably the best way to look at it. Think of it that way. Nobody looked at their earnings today and said, that's a good deal, right? Good for them. Right? You're losing a little bit more than we thought? No problem. You didn't make a profit? No worries. I want to buy the stock. So, right, when you have a day like today, it's very obvious to see that the weak stocks are getting a lift because of the index fund buyer, the mutual fund buyer, not because people think Wayfair is somehow very magically good. Okay, tomorrow we don't have a lot of earnings coming out. You got Foot Locker beats 72% of the time. It's kind of a coin flip in terms of how it reports there. And nothing else really exciting. Not too much there anyways. Alphabet was, let me see. Come on. It finished positive. Look at that. When I saw Alphabet earlier today, it was down like $80. And rallies the $80, gets back to even, goes up another 102. I mean, these are impressive moves here today. So very, very volatile there. I'll take your questions if you have any, see what I can do there. Otherwise, I'm going to get ready for our class tonight because I have a lot to share. And you know I don't just throw those words around. When there's some goods there, I'm going to bring the goods. Stuff you've never seen before and laid out maybe in some unique ways, just to try to drive a point home. All right, let's see what we got. Jason says oil's going to 120. I hope you're wrong, man. I mean, I like energy moving higher, but it's already added enough to any allocation you may have in an IRA or 401k or anything. You don't need energy to go any higher to offer the support in terms of returns for a portfolio. So now the only thing that's happening is if it keeps going higher, now we're just paying for it at the pump. So I hope I hope you're wrong. Yeah. Andres says, or how'd Square do? Did I not look at Square today? I got my days blending together. Same thing. Now, that's the same comment, though. So look, Square was higher today. Why? You got anything? And actually, earnings have come out, so it's lower. It's darn near erased that already. So we're back down to $90. So, all right. So it only erases about half of it. But during the market today, before earnings, it's only higher because broad index buying. That was it. There's no speculation there. And who would speculate on that right ahead of earnings? Stock is still lower. A little bit lower. 91, 92. Yeah. Yeah. All right. There we go. John, good time to fully fund the 2022. Oh, yes. Why not? Yeah. So a lot of people that look to do lump sum deposits, they just wait for dips like this during the year. And we didn't get one last year, right? So it's a good one now. You can do some tax loss harvesting. It's early to be thinking like that. You can if you feel like you have positions that have carried over from earlier last month or something. You'd have to have good profits already somewhere and that you want to take in order to offset some of the losses you may do. Other than that, I think it's kind of early for that. Yep. Money from Europe and other parts of the world flowing here because of turmoil. Well, a lot of other parts of the world were doing well. So there's an argument to be made for money flowing to other markets as well. Hong Kong, well, maybe at the moment, Hong Kong, Brazil and such. So there was a while where there were the U.S. markets, the S&P and NASDAQ, were the only good place to put money in the entire world. That's not the case at the moment. So it's early for me to be able to find data on that, but I don't know. People overseas have other choices now to chase better performing markets. Yeah, lots of crazy classes, or lots of crazy bounces tonight. Today, not tonight. Mostly, you're not talking to me. Matthew, if you become a member on the site, you get to watch the classes. Yeah. So if you mean like on the research side? So we do the office trades, which is live, but it's recorded for you. Live at 12:15-ish, somewhere in there. And then the wine and wealth, as long as it's not particular like advice given towards clients, then we would block it. But like tonight's, yeah, absolutely. It will be there. Yep. Oh, yeah. If we look into the portfolios, we put any cash position back to work? Not just yet. Nope. And I'll make that tonight. That'll be part of our discussion there of the thoughts and thinkings there and why and all that good stuff. Yeah. Remember, the disconnect is a particular portfolio is not the market. So if the market is doing something, that does not mean that the positions in the portfolio are doing something. So I'll go through that and explain if you'll remind me, just in case I forget. You think it's a dead cat bounce? I don't know. It's too soon to say, right? Do you have a good reason for the market to not be a dead cat bounce? Is there anything you could say that's positive that says, yeah, this market's, the S&P's worth 4,600 all day long. Yeah, get back up there. That part bothers me. Yeah. Hey, you've been looking at big lots both from a long-term investment because of the cash flow and as a trade through selling puts. Do you think it's putting in a bottom? Well, I think if you're looking to build a position over the long term, that's smart, right? Collect a little bit more, lower your cost basis on by selling puts if you're willing to use that if you get exercised. Tough to say if that's a bottom there, though. And also, they're going to have earnings coming up. This is going to be a pretty volatile time to start positions on retail-specific stocks because this is their time to shine. Everybody's going to start coming out. So take a look at their earnings report day. Make sure that's not something you're about to jump into. Yeah. How much do you trust? Well, so same comments there from a second ago about the give me a reason for the market to go higher. PayPal going to bounce soon? I'd like that. Yeah. Are rate hike expectations in March coming down in your opinion? Do I think they will come down or are they currently coming down? They are not currently coming down, and I would believe that there's no reason for them to change. There's no reason for them to change that, right? I think there's a very good possibility we see a half-point rate hike, especially if they feel like they're getting a little behind and this is getting away from them a little bit. Why not? Like, you could do a half point. No, everybody's kind of got it in the back of their heads. That's fine. That would be okay. All right. I'm going to head out just a little bit early here today so I can prepare for later, get everybody situated. I will wish you a good rest of your day. I'll see you tonight if you're going to be in the class, and be just like normal. So we'll be back in the dojo. You'll have your chat and everything in there, and I'll be ready. I hope you're ready. Might want to grab a drink for this one.